This video is for entertainment and informational purposes only. It is not a recommendation by Shadow Dragon or solicitation to buy or sell any securities. This video is not intended to be used for financial, legal, or investment planning advice. Hello everyone, this is Shadow Dragon back with a non-DC Universe online video, although I will be using DCUO to kind of create analogies, and actually the reason why I'm even covering this topic is because I see similarities with DC Universe Online / any other MMO. But you will see that disclaimer for any type of video where I talk about NFTs or the Veve platform, which is what this is. So Veve is an NFT platform where users buy, sell, and trade digital collectibles or NFTs. Unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably heard of that in the news or even dipped into it yourself. But NFTs are digital collectibles. I'm going to leave some resources in the description below so you can do your own research on that, because otherwise that would take too long to explain here. So just to get this out of the way in the beginning, you're probably a player of DC Universe Online. You may not be interested in this if you're into like the combat or anything about progression in the game. You will be interested in this if you work the broker a lot to increase your cash amount. If you're used to, selling drops, buying booster bundles, and then trying to flip those for more money, that kind of thing, and you've increased your cash amount like substantially over the years. So this video will be for you if you are a heavy broker user. So imagine doing all those things that I just mentioned, except that it had like a real life impact on your financials. So meaning the techniques you use to buy and sell things in DC Universe Online, imagine if that was like real life money. Well, Veve is potentially that, though it's not quite there yet. In terms of DCUO, you could say that Veve is sort of like an MMO, but like without the combat and without the character building. It's basically you're acquiring like different assets, and then you're trying to resell them for more. So if you took everything out of the game, out of DC Universe Online except the broker, you would basically be acquiring things by, say, like the booster bundle or the capsule. So you're just putting down real money, getting those digital items, and then reselling them on the broker. That's essentially what Veve is, because you're just putting your money down, which is converted to something called gems, but a gem is basically $1. So it's like you're spending money for an in-game currency, and you're using that currency to buy different digital items. And then again, speaking in terms of DC Universe Online, one of the differences in how you get the items is that they are all limited. So like in DC Universe Online, if they release a booster bundle, if 1 million people want to buy that, it's unlimited, so 1 million people can potentially buy that item. In Veve, what they will do is release a limited amount of a digital collectible. So like let's just say they put 12,000 of an item. You basically have say hundreds of thousands of people pressing that buy button upon the release of that item, and they're all going to get sold out because there's way more users than the product itself. So it would be like if the booster bundle had a limited amount. like, that would get sold out right away. And then the in-game value would just skyrocket because you're going to have more people that did not get it and want their hands on it. So that's what causes like the price increase, and that's how you can make a lot of money through this platform. Okay, so let's go into some examples of the products on this platform. This is a screenshot of an Avengers comic that went on sale recently. This has actually been the only drop I've been able to get, because that's a challenge in itself, like trying to get the product on release. Most of the time you're going to have to buy it secondhand for several times the original cost. And then depending on how much in demand it is, you might be able to flip it for more. So in this screenshot you see the original price, $6.99, and then you're going to see edition covers on the bottom. Typically there are 4 or 5 levels of rarity, again similar to a booster bundle where there are different rarities for items. And so the value of something could go up and down based on the rarity, or it could be based on how much people want it. So like if more people want a common, it could drive up the price of something that's more common. So the other product type, and these are a bit more pricier than the comics running about $7 a pop, are these digital statues. And I've seen these run from like $20, $30 all the way up to like $70. So like the comics, like once you get these and then they go secondhand, they again go several times higher than what they were. So now we are talking about spending 5 to 10 times more money for one of these. So this is going to be a costly platform. If you're not financially responsible, I would recommend not going to this at all, because it is gamified, so you are going to be tempted to pour money into this. So yeah, these are the example of the digital collectible statues. This is DC Artists Alley series. If you search these on Amazon, you can get the physical ones. So they are using the same 3D mesh and stuff to create these. And when you buy these, you do get the full 3D model. So you could rotate them and scale them. And the platform does let you put them in a virtual space as well as augmented reality. So you can do a lot more with the digital version than if you bought the physical one. So this is an example of Batgirl from DC Artists Alley next to a Deadpool statue in the virtual gallery. In 2022, they are talking about building out this virtual space a bit more. So there's probably going to be more interaction. This aspect of it is sort of like the base building aspect of DC Universe Online. And here's an augmented reality photo of Batgirl. This is also something they're going to improve upon in the coming year. Currently, it does look pretty good, except that you can't place objects in front of them, only behind. And then we have a Christmas version of Deadpool, and they are scalable, so I made him life-size in this particular photo. Currently, I consider Veve a very speculative form of investment, and that is because you can put money in, but you can't directly take the money back out, even if you gained gems, the in-game currency, from what you put in. But they do have that in the pipeline. They just didn't mention when. So I think the moment that happens, they'll probably get an influx of more users. At the moment, if you really wanted to, you could do it through a third party, such as eBay, where you make an agreement, and sometimes there's a mediator that kind of polices things, and you could get your money out that way. But until they put it in the app itself and they have everything regulated behind the scenes, I would still consider this speculative. So, what are the reasons to go into the platform? Well, first and foremost, out of all the NFT platforms, like I understand this one the best because of its similarities to how an MMO economy works. If you're used to and you're in the habit of like gaming and then trying to increase your funds of in-game money, this is exactly the same thing. In other NFT platforms, you have individuals trying to sell something that they created, whether it be like a painting, a photo, or music, which is kind of shooting in the dark because you kind of have to find someone that's interested in it. The advantage of Veve is that these are like known brands already. They're already established, and in the case of comics, they're just digital versions of things that already existed. So the other strong argument to go in is they have the backing of all these brands you see in the screenshot, and it's an old screenshot, so they're adding more constantly, and they do a good job of keeping this stuff under wraps. So they'll announce like a lot of surprises that you don't expect, but they do have backing of all these brands and companies, and if you're a company that has 3D assets, you would probably want to go into this as well because you make instant money. Like if you think about let's say a statue goes up and there are like 35,000 editions of that statue, and they're going to sell out in less than a second. So that's instantly like close to $2 million of profit within a second. And right now the platform is relatively small. It hasn't really exploded yet. What I'm thinking is it's a great time to build a collection and anticipate that explosion. One thing that's going to signify or start what I think is going to be the explosion is when they open it up to fiat currency, when you're able to back this out into dollars or whatever currency you use in your country. That's going to definitely attract a lot more users. The other thing is when Pokemon gets in here, because it's not listed yet, but by nature of what that community, what that game and its products do, and the habits of those users, it only makes sense for Pokemon to be digital collectibles on this platform. So if that ever makes it here, it will also explode. So I'm keeping those two things in mind as I try to build my collection. If you go into this, you will want to do it with moderation. Treat it as like a stock market or real estate or mutual funds investment where you're putting in like a little bit each month or each week, whatever you can afford. You don't want to like go all in as if this was like gambling in Las Vegas. So yeah, only put in what you can afford if you decide to go into this. And another mindset to keep is think of this as a game. You're just putting money to invest into a game, and when you do that with a video game, you don't take the money back out. You're just losing it. That's going into entertainment. So just grab the items that you think you'd want to keep anyway, and think of it as money you spend. Because at the moment you can't pull it back out, so it's not really an investment. It has potential to be. So this would be sort of like if you went into like Bitcoin really early. Like that could have failed within like the first couple of years. Or if you went to like one of those speculative tech stocks, if you went into like Tesla on year one, that could have easily failed. So yeah, pretty much treat that like any other speculative investment. But just wanted to do a video connecting the Veve platform with DC Universe Online, which is the majority of the audience on this channel, just because there are similarities between the two, and it might be something you want to look into based on your skills with the broker. Okay, that is it from here. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.